nonprofit Closing the Divide. It is trying to get tech resources to not just like underprivileged debaters, underprivileged people in general. They're fundraising through a public forum debate tournament that will be open in September. The details will be down below. I urge anyone who wants to help the community get better to join if they can.
What's that call like? What do you do now?
So, you're right. So we broke, and we were in the bubble, so there were like a lot of tears after we won that round. Like that was a very emotional and pivotal moment, and I think I cried, not Theo. But then after that, I think it was our mindset changed a lot because we did not expect to do anything, like go this far. So after that, we were just trying to like have fun with it. So we called Alec, who's our coach, and we got a flow maybe 10 minutes before the round, and their case was whack, but we somehow had blocks to all of it. So I don't think it was like a very stressful beginning to the round.
Yeah, the biggest thing was we had just gone up round 7 against Belair, and
scary.
that was really scary already. But we had broken our neg that we were going to run in runoffs in that round, and so we just basically had a practice round of running the similar strategies coming into this round. And so we came in being like, we've done this once, let's just try to do it again.
So yeah, but coming in, we had a prep out, we had no expectations, and we had practice on a case that was basically like functionally unbroken. So we were feeling pretty good, but we did not expect anything coming into the round.
Yeah, that sounds like a great strategy to deal with pressure, just like, hey, I've made it farther than I thought I was going to. So yeah, that's a great way. Do you have any other ways that y'all try to deal with pressure?
We had more healthy ones when we were not online. I think online debate really makes you like freak out because you're kind of not with other people. But we would get bubble tea on occasion. We would play a lot of ping pong is what we used to do together. Like a bunch of brother activities because like it's the one like really big benefit. It's not the one, but it's a really big benefit is that like we can sort of hang out during rounds.
The really big one is we will both, before rounds that are really stressful, for 15 minutes before round, just plug into music, not do any work.
Yeah.
Just listen to like, usually it's like hype up music.
For
a lot of Pop Smoke,
Kanye or something like really loud,
something like metally and hard, and we'll like blast it.
And we'll blast it. And we won't say a single thing until the round starts. And that's usually what happened this round. Like we got prep out done 10 minutes before the round, and then we just zoned in to like a little bit.
Free round Pop Smoke.
I've definitely tried that before. I can certify that it 100% works. So good stuff.
Yeah, I also do it. My brother, we pre-round Pop Smoke all the time.
Yeah,
but so I think really quickly on something you brought up earlier about having an unbroken case. So I think I might have hit this case or something similar-ish earlier at TOC. So when you say break a new case, I think just in general for tournaments, do you have like one argument that you are somewhat planning to go for and then breaking new time sucks, or like what is your methodology for breaking a new case? Or
I mean, TOC was an outlier tournament for the strategy. Usually we would just read a case where we felt comfortable going for everything or like 90% of it, and then not switch it up for like late judges or flow judges, just read one case flat through the entire tournament. For TOCs, we decided to throw everything at the wall. So we just wrote a lot of positions like on everything. I don't think there was any one argument that was a time suck, except we read this agriculture argument that we hadn't written as a time suck because we figured it would bait a bunch of responses and we just had no interest in going for it. But we did. I will cop to. We do this neoliberalism argument, which I think is C2 or C3 in this round we watched, and we do plan to go for it every round because we think it gets undercovered fairly substantially, and people don't respond to the retrospective aspect of it, which is something that happens in this round. So we think we going into TOCs, our conversations with Alec were like, if you're on the bubble, you read this argument, but try to save it for as long as possible, and then we'll break it and see how it goes.
The general strategy we talked about before coming to this tournament is we're going to prep a lot of arguments. Some of these arguments are going to be the type of thing where once you break it and there becomes a really nice prep out to it, it's not nearly as good. And so what's going to happen is we're going to run pretty stock stuff until we hit the bubble or until we hit out rounds, and then we're going to break consecutively a bunch of these arguments. And I think that's what we end up doing.
Right. Especially at TSC when everyone like at some tournaments you can get away with like just reading the same stuff, but especially on the IMF topic where it's like if there's a really good prep out, I feel like IMF specifically, a really good prep out makes a lot of arguments a lot harder to go for than on a normal topic. just because it's like a little bit unclear what all the arguments are, probably some degree untrue to some degree. But yeah, definitely agree. That's a good strat.
From what I remember, economics authors also have a good habit of writing entire papers just to absolutely roast another paper somebody else wrote. So if you can just find those make great case destroyers.